Hey everyone, this is Tom Englehart, and I'm going to do another video analysis master study. This time it's going to be a scene from Spider-Verse, and it's where he just does this simple punch, just like that. It's real quick, 20 frames long. But this time I also want to show you how I sometimes use a simplified skeleton to analyze the body mechanics. But we'll get to that. Let's just go ahead and try to see if we can find the keys first. So one is a key, and he's going to step out and punch. So right before he punches, probably right there, is another key, 11. And I mean, that's definitely a key. 15 is an extreme, but maybe the contact. Usually whenever you make contact with something, that's a key too. And then there's the follow through, so probably just the end, which is 19 because it's on twos, right? Those two, 19 and 20, look the same, so we'll say 19. So, okay, so we got our keys. Now, between 1 and 11, somewhere in here there's a breakdown, so we're going to scrub through. So he sticks his leg out. He starts to turn. No, he's already turned there, so he starts to turn there. So let's say 7 is the breakdown, because then he's already turned around. That's kind of a slow in. Breakdown. That's kind of a slow out. Okay. So we got that to 11. 13 we said is a key. 15 is a key. So now we need a breakdown between 15 and 19. So we'll just say, I mean, there's really only one spot the breakdown could be between 15, 19. It's right there. 17 is a breakdown. So let's get rid of, like we did last time, we're going to get rid of any pictures that don't have a key, that aren't a key or a breakdown, right? So we're getting rid of all of these. 7 is a breakdown, 8 is nothing, 9 is nothing, 10 is nothing, 11 is a key, 12 is gone, 13 is a key, 14 is gone, 15 is a key, 16 is gone, 17 is a breakdown, 18 is gone, 19 is a key, and I'll just get rid of 20. So there we go. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. So there you go. There's that punch with just the keys and the breakdowns. So let's do our drawovers. Make sure we are on the foreground when we were doing our drawings there. So let's go ahead and start drawing over. Like I've said before, I usually use a yellow color because it shows up over everything. So here's the simplified skeleton that I use. I usually use a circle for the head, right? You got the neck. I'll draw a circle for the chest, circle for the hips, little tiny circle for the knees, and then usually a circle and a little triangle for the foot, right? And I do a circle for the shoulder, circle for the other shoulder, circle for the hand, right? And usually a little circle at the elbows. All right, so that's a simplified skeleton. We get rid of the midground. I have to make the background a dark gray. And there we go. So now we can see the first key. Now at the breakdown, we'll do the same thing, but now here you'll see when the head is turned a little bit, I like to do crosshairs to show where his head is looking. Alright, we've got a shoulder here, we've got the whole chest here, the neck, shoulder comes down to this elbow, this hand, this elbow comes out to this hand, here's the hips, there's the curvature of the spine, the knee is in here somewhere, the foot going up, and if you'll notice with legs it usually goes one way, curves one way, and then curves the other. So it curves like this and then curves like that. And that's usually how legs go. See how this is curving that way, knee, and this one's curving the other way. Just gives a little rhythm to the legs. Let's get rid of the mid-ground, and there we go. There's those two. Next key is 11. Now you see his head is angled up, so one line between the eyes coming down, and another line that shows the eye line. I got the shoulders out here. Sometimes I'll put a little line between the shoulders to show how that goes. Got the circle, the neckline, come out to the elbow, hand, elbow, hand, hips, spine, knee, curve one way, curve the other. This foot, curve out to the knee, this foot, right? And then I might just let that spine come all the way through so we can see that he's sort of facing the other way, starting to turn around. And now he's all the way through the punch, right? So his hand's somewhere in here, right? And you see that they did a smear. His head's right here. This other arm is kind of hanging back. Got the chest, the hips, and this is kind of like a straight line, almost curved the other way. The knee here. And this leg is really stretched out. This leg is planted. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Boom, look at that. Right into that punch, and that's a huge gap in spacing for just a couple of frames. Boom. Alright, and then the follow through of the punch. We've got this arm, shoulder, got the head still there, comes over to the other shoulder, other arm, that hand. This back is kind of twisted a little bit. There's the hips coming down to the knee, coming down to the foot. The knee is here. A lot of times I'll draw the target first and then just aim the line to it. So like this, draw the heel, aim the line there. Draw the rest of that foot. Let's see what that looks like. So that's just a follow through, and his foot. Notice how his foot now is following through as well. This back foot. And then a breakdown. Curvature of the back. Elbow. I'm trying to do this real quick, right? Because we're just analyzing it quickly. We don't need to spend a lot of time on this. So if this is the leg in front, I'll usually draw over the hip right here, right? So we're coming down to this knee, draw over the hip. This foot's kind of down like that. Here's the knee. This one we draw behind the hip so we know which side it's going on. There's the foot. Let's see what that looks like. Boom. And then here we go again. Shoulder. Going across to the other shoulder. The head's back there. Elbow, hand, elbow, hand. This back. Right, so we're trying to see how the curvature of the spine, which way it's going. We have this knee that's coming in front. There, this knee is coming from behind. So it goes to this foot in front, this foot in back. Right, so there we go. Let's see what that looks like. So there it is, just keys and breakdowns with a simplified skeleton, so we can really see what's happening. Okay, now we could just stop there and just scrub through and analyze. Like we've done before, we're going to put in our own in-betweens. Okay, so we know that we're going to slow out of this first position through this breakdown, right? So coming from the breakdown, working backwards towards the front, we're going to go halfway. So we got to turn our onion skins on. I'm just going to make it so I can only see one onion skin before, the drawing before and the drawing after. Okay, so it looks like the hip's going to stay in the same spot, but we got to flip back and see. We're going to look at the closest foot to us, how it slides out. So right here is about halfway. The foot's kind of turning. The knee is here, and then it's over here. So let's go about halfway, but thinking of an arc, right? So the knee maybe somewhere in here. You know, and there's going to be some perspective. The knee's coming towards us there. Let's see what that looks like. So the leg is, you know what? I don't like that. Sorry. Having the knee a little bit further out. We're going to do a larger arc. Just like that. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's a little bit better. We'll try that. The other foot looks like it stays in the same place. So we'll just draw that in the same place. Okay, so we got the legs. The chest is staying in the same place. Looking at 1, I'm looking at 7. Pretty much the same place. The head is starting to turn. So I'll start to show that head turning. The arm, this arm is roughly the same. The other arm is moving down. It's in an up position there. Now it's down. So halfway between these two, something like that. So there we go. Now we want to go 2 more frames back. We're animating on 2, so we're just going 2 frames at a time. Now we're going between frames 1 and 5. We're in betweening. So just halfway. Put the knee halfway. There's the leg. Let's check that out. There. Yep. Other leg's going to stay here. This arm stays the same. This arm goes halfway. Head can stay the same. And remember, these in-betweens don't have to be perfect. Let's see what that looks like. So there, he slows out, slowly brings that leg out. Okay, so we need an in-between between 7 and 11, between the breakdown and the key, and you can see how his body, here let me turn off ghosting, you can see it better. His body is making a pretty big turn there. And we want to go halfway in between, so turn on ghosting. Let's see here. So his chest is just starting to turn around maybe, so we can say that it's like this. And maybe the shoulder's just starting to come around. This shoulder is there. Okay. The head is coming around. So I'm just picking halfway points. The crosshairs will kind of be like that. Doesn't have to be exact. Just trying to get the idea. Looks like that's not the way the head would turn. Right? So the head is probably coming up this way. Something like that, maybe? Close enough. It's probably not right, but oh well. Go halfway in between. Halfway. This foot is sliding out. This foot is sliding in. This hand is coming from right here where we're sitting on the table all the way out to here. So we're probably going to have some foreshortening happening. Hands probably somewhere around here. The elbow is going to be somewhere around here. Something like that. And let's see here. This hand is there, and then it's way up here. So we're going to go from here to there. The elbow is down here, and then it's up there. So the elbow could be somewhere around there. There we go. That'll work. So we see that? That's good enough for now anyway. Let's see what it looks like all together. Hit play. So there. That's not bad. One of the things I want to look at real quick is this gap. Whenever you have a big gap in spacing like that, you can really get away with it if you slow into it and you have some anticipation. So we have some anticipation going into this wind-up, and then boom. And then there's a bunch of settle. And what we don't see is, because from this scene in the movie, it switches camera angles right there. So, but if it didn't switch camera angles, he would continue to settle even longer after this punch to really sell the impact of that punch. Right? So to get away with a large gap for impact, and that's the purpose of this, and you'll see if you look at his spine, see the curve of the spine here. Here, I'll go to a different color. Curve of the spine here, and then the spine kind of reverses there, right? So we go from here to there. Gives you some good impact. It also goes from curved arm to straight arm, right? Curved to straight, right? And the same thing with this back leg, curved to pretty much straight, curved straight. So it's like squash, stretch, right? And then a lot of settle at the end. So there you go. That's how I used a simplified skeleton to analyze body mechanics in a shot. Hope this helps you, and we'll see you next time.